Stupid Alima League messing me up. All right, there we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have had some silly starts to the day already, which does not bode well for how this cast will probably go. That being said, I do hope you will enjoy. We are getting into a very good game at number 1 here for the WCS Shanghai qualifiers. And in the top right, it's none other than one of our favorite Zergs, Team Liquid's TLO.
In the bottom left, one of our favorites, Terrans. He's Lillekanin.
Yeah, Lillekanin, for those who don't know, is well known for his unconventional playstyles and stranger strategies. Where players would go for a fusion core and get Liberator range, this guy would go for a battlecruiser, just as some context. TLO, on the other hand, as much as he is well heralded for his creativity and just being a very, I guess, self-reinventing Zerg, I guess is the way I would describe that, he is, he also plays standard very, very well. Like, his execution in the game, the way I imagine it went was, well, hang on, I'm going to try and do a bad German accent for this, so it's going to go terribly. Well, I'm so good at playing Zerg. It bores me. So I must invent strange things to do.
You just, like, you literally have, like, one accent per country, you know? Like, you can't do the dialects in the country, like... Something like TLO.
I know, TLO actually has I actually really like TLO's accent because it's not like super German, right? Like it's just like it's definitely...
not that like aristocrat German that you always do.
I feel okay. So in fairness, when I think German and I try and do this accent, I don't think like awesome guy at Oktoberfest. I think of like creepy SS general like torturing a victim.
I
like,
kind of figured, yeah.
You will tell me your secrets.
Yes, like
you will tell us where the Allies attack.
Yeah, that's what I imagine you were imagining. So, yeah, he has a much better voice than that.
Anyways, yeah, my disservice to TLO aside, I do feel like he does play the game pretty well, and maybe that is part of why he does some of the weird stuff. Maybe it's not, but one thing I am excited to see, though, is on Lillekanin whether he chooses to go along the tech path of Lings, Banelings, and Mutalisks, or if he'll go for Roaches and Ravagers. It is pretty much either or at this point, and sometimes we'll see some cheese. That's the thing I love about TLO, though. He's a lot less cheesy than he is just different, I guess.
Yeah. So, as it is Lillekanin crest, I would definitely anticipate Roaches and Ravagers, but it is the cross spawn, so you will have more time to try and get to Mutas if that is your choice. So it's not wouldn't be too surprising, I suppose, if we went for Mutaling Bling. Looks like Lillekanin is going up to a factory and a second barracks pretty quickly here. So some variation of a 2-base build, which is very common on Lillekanin. Now I don't know if Lillekanin is really going to go for just like a standard 2-base bio build, because that just doesn't sound like him, but it's possible.
Right? Like, actually, the weirdest thing would be this game if Lillekanin played normally, more so than TLO doing anything.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, to Crowbar Spine, brand new sub, as if we need any more of these bad boys. And then JD Toss resub for 13 months simultaneously, so you're both awesome. Now,
Woohoo!
I guess it wasn't a huge detail. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. The strangeness that is Lillekanin. Here's where I find Ghost really interesting for what he wants to do. Maybe Lillekanin is crazy, batshit crazy enough to go for nukes. That'd be cool. But there's some merits to early game Ghosts that are both good and bad. Here's the good. They deal lots of damage to everything. It's scary as hell trying to deal with them, and especially if they're cloaked, detection can be a real son of a bitch, especially if they're sniping instead cloaked overlords. Part 2 to this, they've got a lot of health. So if you're going to drop Ghosts, as silly as it sounds, they're actually not easy to clean up. Downside is, though, they are susceptible to lots of units, which is what Zerg really excels at, which is why you don't see this as a common strategy. You know, if Bling's going to surround on a Ghost, it's got a very slow attack speed. It hit hard, but it hits slow. So I am curious to see the degree of which he's going to use this, and actually TLO is going to...
It's a...
Does he see it? He doesn't see the Ghost scout. He sees the armory. Oh my god, this Overlord actually scouts a normal-looking base.
Oh, the Ghost coming out before the Overlord's dead might be the problem.
Well, I don't know. Hang on. He's got to move him up.
I think it's going to die. It's going to die.
I'm watching its vision. He does not see the Ghost. Not for, like... Yeah. Not for not. That was a very decent scout out of TLO, but just not what he needed to see.
Lillekanin did do this before on Dusk Towers. I think we cast it once, where it was this just Hellbat and Ghosts. Like, There's no drops, which we've seen before too, back on Moonlight Madness actually, which can be very annoying to deal with. It's actually just like a frontal push, which is not what you would expect from Ghost, but it is the point of this build. You can snipe the queens down. They have some pretty good damage as long as they aren't being attacked. And well, this is the first time he's seen the Ghost, so I think Lillekanin has to go now.
Yeah, and the Spire's an interesting choice in this situation, because Mutalisks aren't bad against the Hellions that TLO saw, but they might not fare too well against the Ghosts. Again, reminding everybody, Ghosts hit quite hard against the light units, just with their auto attack alone, not to mention snipe potential, and I guess, funny enough, EMPing Queens. But TLO's got Spine Crawlers down, and funny enough, what Lillekanin has is not good against buildings.
No, not really. Hellbats, of course, will eventually tear them down, but they do have to actually transform into Hellbats. And he doesn't want to, I guess, because he knows there's Banelings out in the field.
The SCVs pulled are kind of like medevacs to repair, I guess, the injured Hellbats. He's going to go through the back rocks, which is kind of funny. This is going to take a few moments to knock down, so TLO does have time to reposition himself, and looks like he is starting to do precisely that.
This is buying time for his mutas, more importantly, although, like, Ghosts can deal with this moment on mutas fine, too. I think it might be better for Lillekanin to transform back into Hellions and try and take these Banelings on that way. Now that he has two paths open, he can dodge the Spine Crawlers as well with speed. But that's not what he's going to do. He's going to go in
I'm
with
actually,
Hellbats.
For those who don't know, again, Ghosts are not classified as light units, so these the Banelings won't do bonus damage to them. They will take out most of the Hellbats, but the mutas get sniped by the Ghosts. One shot, one kill, kind of works. Hellbats, if they can take care of the Lings, the Ghosts are going to be so hard to stop. Again, their auto attacks alone are good. The Glavehorn bounces are canceling a lot of this, but Lillekanin is actually working. There's only one Hellbat left. He's got new Hellions routed to the front lines. Takes care of. He's got Rapers following this up.
Yes, why? And Cloak, of course.
Actually, I like Cloak.
The Overseers.
I actually think Cloak is a great idea, but everything else leaves me with question marks here.
He's gonna win. Like, TLO cannot get the right units.
There's Banelings coming in. I mean, they're not going to be amazing, but if they take out the Hellbats, then the Lings can kill the Ghosts, like we've talked about. But new Hellions, Reapers, all these things coming in front lines. This is SCVs to guard the Ghosts a little bit. Those snipes are so weird.
No! Why is he making Hellbats?
Probably misclick. If you're gonna be honest.
Well, that's a pretty costly misclick. Like, you're supposed to get the Hellions over here as quick as possible, not try and get Hellbats to slowly walk over.
I like that TLO's kind of recognized he needs to get across the map, and he shouldn't really fight this. But, man, the Ghosts are taking out the Spine Crawlers now. This shouldn't happen. SCV's on top of this. Tries to snipe some of the Banelings.
Oh, God. The Spine Crawler goes down. The SCV's going to take the hit. Oh,
Cloak finishes. Okay, Overseer is one bit of detection. Yeah, he can. Or to auto-attack it.
Banelings, of course, can manually explode.
Yeah, but look at the Ghost split here. This is all kinds of silly. Jones getting pulled. Oh, what the hell is happening? Looks like the rally did take care of the Mutalist, by the way. That one Cloak Ghost killing two Lings and that Muta that escaped. And Lillekanin, I applaud and love every time we watch this guy play. Because even if this loses, like, let's say TLO cleans this up, this is without a doubt already my favorite game of the day. Like, no question about it. Gonna snipe that Queen.
Well...
Hellbats versus drones actually don't do too well if they get fully surrounded, but unfortunately, Lillekanin doesn't have a good work account behind this. So funny enough, if TLO cleans this up and it costs him everything to do so, it's still worth it at the end of the day. Ghost looking to soak up the hits for the Hellbats. Kind of worth it. Worth it. Hellbats are that important, but with the Mutas... Oh, with new Mutas coming out, though. I don't know.
Oh, GG.
GG.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God.
That was an excellent game number one, is what that was. Game number one is what that was. Game number one. Welcome back to the WCS Shanghai Qualifiers. You guys are watching BaseTradeTV with Rifkin and Zombie Grub. Spawning here on the bottom left side of the map, it's going to be the Purple Terran who's not able to stay in his own base, Lillekanin.
In the top right, as the Red Zerg, he is Liquid TLO.
That looked like a bit of an awkward pull. Like, these two SCVs are like, look, boss, I know you want us to do this really shitty thing, but we'd rather not.
Yeah, I have a conscience. Like,
You have a conscience? Well, guess what? I've got a contract, and if you want to get paid, you got to get to work.
Now, TLO, I mean, you should be expecting something silly like this. They're going...
In a really, I guess...
long way around.
This looks a little bit silly, but I guess valuing lack of discovery quite heavily.
Well, yeah, TLO, as I said, you're supposed to be, like, prepared for this against someone like Lillekanin, who's obviously on his cheese game today. So an Overlord is going to where you would most likely see the 2 racks put down,
right here.
around here. So like over there would have also been possible. Maybe you would have seen it there too, but you don't want to like, this way. It's almost assured that the Overlord will not scout this far. You do want it to get to the main after all and be prepared to suicide. So,
a really important point to this too, by the way, is this is without gas. Yeah, so.
And I hate it if it's without gas.
I do too, because it's 3 racks long instead of for those who don't know, sorry, the reason we're kind of fumbling with this is we've seen. As much as I love Lillekanin, right? And he pulled his shit off versus Wellmu on Elrena. Okay, cool, that worked. He's going 4 racks Marines, and I just feel like the power this has is so easily toppled by just drones alone, much less any lings. As long as TLO doesn't play greedy, he should defend this.
Yeah, he's not being greedy right now. Obviously going for that speed is what you would usually do, especially against someone you would think would be proxy reapering, not proxy marines. But he might lose an Overlord. I don't think he'll lose the second one, although I guess that could have been a possibility if he actually had scouted this.
Racks. Wow.
Yeah, 5 racks marine, and it's not going to be scouted until the last second. If he plays his cards right with the marines, it could just look like, oh, you meant for a marine first. After Command Center as opposed to like a Reaper expand, and that's when my Overlord died. So, the Overlord would die and not see the natural, and he can bulk up a ton of Marines.
He's really deepos down here. I love this. By the way, thank you, Clubhouse, for the 12-month, the 1-year resub, and skitoo or skitoo. It's like a sound effect, skitoo, for that brand new sub, bringing in some hype. But yeah. I guess the one advantage to this is that this is being bulked up and it's not being funneled in quickly. So Lillekanin is just going to be kind of like surprised. And in funny contrast here, guys, if you ever do this, this is actually the way you handle it TBT, where you don't rush in, but you save up and then you bulk through. And the reason you do that is because always one bunker just stops you. This surprise element is a pretty strong detail. And I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really drone scout in ZvT, where you might drone scout in TV or SCV scout in TVT, so you would see the lack of a command center. But for TLO, this looks like, well, until now, this looks like, oh, he just took his command center.
Surprise!
And everything's Gucci. So, of course, he took a 3rd base thinking that everything was fine. He was playing a little bit safer, maybe anticipating, Hellbats by getting a Baneling Nest this early. A lot of people are pushing off their Baneling Nest quite late, so he has that much going for him, but obviously it's not done. His Banelings still have to morph in.
If
the Marines especially on top of it.
By the way, the Marines like camouflaging on the creep. This purple color is fantastic. He's hoping the Spine Cars will have a little bit more time. Panic definitely ensued here. Shout out to DTF Legitly. Oh, that's a very douchey name, but I love you for subscribing. Now, these Spines might not finish, but the Banelings, the fact that he's holding these back instead of rushing to throw them in is because he doesn't have enough, and he knows it. Look at the split on these Marines. Lillekanin is actually in a pretty interesting spot. The Spine Cars can't cover the hatchery entirely. He could kill it, technically.
Oh, focus those Banelings.
Yeah.
Yep.
3rd base got canceled. He needed the money. TLO is sitting here on a lack of larva now, which has been an issue with the Queen's being pulled. Well, spawning pool aside, like, he's got no larva. Like, the Queen's being pulled means there's no injects going on, which means there's a small handful of lings.
Yeah.
Drones getting pulled are an absolute necessity to try and hold this. These Marines don't have a lot of health. Queens are getting executing shots. He's starting to manage to hold this, and keep in mind, if he just needs to keep 16 drones alive, and he comes out ahead.
Yeah. Well, he pushes forward the Spine Crawlers, just really quite smart.
I think he's got it.
Yeah, I think he does. The Baneling Nest actually being done, while the splits were good, it did add a lot of extra damage, and I had to add the splits of the Marines that would not work out against the Lings that followed.
This was scary as fuck, though, if we're going to be completely honest. Like, TLO almost lost this game.
Yeah, and it was, the Baneling Nest coming down is not what you would usually anticipate from a Zerg player. They're usually pretty greedy on their Baneling Nests nowadays. So, nice call by TLO to see that something was probably going to be up, although he wasn't quite sure what until the last seconds. Lillekanin has one more big push, probably, because it is 5 Marines at a time, and you can hope that they're underestimating the follow-up, but it looks like he's going to try and macro out of it while still getting as many Marines as possible.
There's one more important detail to this, and that's TLO went for 2 spines instead of just 1 in panic. And it wasn't because he was just like freaking out, but you very specifically need 2 spines to one-shot a Marine. And as we've seen, it makes a world of difference other than hitting 1 and having the next shot kill everything. Like, this was... Maybe it was panic and I'm giving him too much credit, but this was so perfectly handled out of TLO. And I feel 99% of other players probably die in this exact same situation. I don't even know that we played the same game in the same way. TLO holds it as well the second time around.
Well, we'll see what the follow-up can look like from Lillekanin, who has successfully stopped TLO from getting a third base. So.
Okay, well, there's his follow-up.
Yeah.
He sees to make up for time.
This is very dangerous. I mean, his Marine, like, for all he knows, TLO is getting nothing but Lings right now and turning them all into Banelings. So, of course, we know that he's droning. So he could be broken on the front, and then Lings obviously would make it across the map really, really quickly, where you only have one barracks of production on this side of the map.
Well, a scarier fact to that is if you remember the old 2 racks lock someone in on one base back in HOTS, the response was a Nidus Swarm, and you would just get completely wiped at home if you didn't kill them outright.
That would...
That's another thing that's more common in Legacy now than it even was in HOTS, and for that reason alone, I'm really scared for Lillekanin doing this third CC.
That would just end the game either way. Like, he's probably going to do it still, and it probably will end the game, but the third CC on location would be... it wouldn't even matter.
I was going to try and break this. Okay, Spawn's going to soak some of the hits with transfuses, so this actually isn't that scary, and even off of creep, the Banelings don't need amazing hits to stop this from... getting out of control, and he will corral these into a corner. The Banelings don't need to be wasted here. The Queens can actually clean this up, and yeah, the question really is, what does Lair do? Barracks, as funny as this looks, is actually a really good move. It's going to scout. It might see the Nidus Storm, it might not. I'm not sure. If it does, that'll tell Lillekanin to panic, and I really don't know that even if he saw this, he could do anything about it necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. I mean...
He's going to see it, he's going to see it.
There's nothing he can do. He has all of his production over here. He could try and make a base trade out of it, or like maybe keep the roaches at home by rallying with these barracks, but he tries to bring them home.
What if
his only hope in Heart of the Swarm would have been killing the Nidus Swarm as he found it, but that doesn't happen Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, you can pull all the SCVs and get the surround, but the point is, like, 5 queens pop out, they transfuse, everything escapes. He's going for quadruple starports, Samirgum.
I guess his idea is if he can get him as many banshees as possible, the queens would be able to keep up.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the money to do...
Don't tell him what he doesn't have.
Okay, my bad. That's my bad. All right, so the Nidus Storm doesn't come in base, it comes out of base. There's a couple of bunkers out here to try and buy him some time. If, like, honest to God, if he didn't even know if that was in his own base, by the way. He just scanned his own base because he has no If he can hold on long enough to get banshees out, even with 5 queens, a couple of banshees can do some work, but... The likelihood of this is very low.
He only has 2 gases. If he had 4 gases, he might have maybe
4 starport and 2 gases. I don't think he knew where he was after this 2 racks didn't end that game. Like, 2 racks. Excuse me. Yeah, 5 racks. My bad. Still using HOTS terminology here. New Nidus Storm coming to the main. This is not going to work out. GG. Rip. All right, TLO is going to type the series 1-1 in a very, again, fun first series today. I'm elated with how this is going. We're going to quickly squeeze into a small break while we get into this third match, guys. If you want to see who wins, stick around. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, folks, welcome back to the WCS Shanghai Qualifiers. Thank you for watching that quick break for us. As you can see, you didn't miss anything as we're hopping directly into game here for Central Protocol. It's game number 3, map number 3, and of course, quick reminder that this is a double elimination bracket. You're currently watching the winners round, which means the loser of this is not out of the tournament. They've still got another life to fall back on. Top 2 from today will be the ones to qualify for WCS Shanghai. Spawning in the bottom left side of Central Protocol, we got the purple Darren, Lillekanin.
In the top right, as the red Zerg, he is Liquid TLO.
Okay, without looking back at Lillekanin's base, quick question. Do you remember what team he's on?
Red Blood?
Red Bloods. I guess we did give TLO some credit for Team Liquid. I thought we should return the favor here for Lillekanin. Because Red Bloods are really not a well-known team, but they've got players on like Lillekanin and Pompey Joe, and just guys you wouldn't expect to beat players, but not players. Like, I feel... These are the type of players who might not be the contenders for the number 1 slot of a WCS seed or tournament even, but they're the guys that nobody wants to hit on the bracket because they know they might actually get knocked out by them.
Right, yeah. I was going to bring that up in the first game, which of course TLO lost, and was probably thinking the same thing. Like, damn it, I had to meet this guy. But it's in the third game now, and he has obviously remembered how cheesy Lillekanin can be. Lillekanin kind of has 2 like, they switch, right? Like down position is cheese and up position is macro with mech. And maybe something weird with that too. And that's kind of like the two he has. Maybe once in a while he does like a normal bio build, but I don't know what he's going to do on Central Protocol. Mech would just not be very good on this map unless he's doing a 2-base mech build, which he does have.
So the only reason I would contest that point would be because mech isn't what mech used to be, though. Like, it's not like you get a bunch of Thors and siege tanks. It's more like you just turtle to air and ghosts. So, I could actually see air working on a map like this, especially like assuming for just a moment that it's Hyperflight Rotor Banshees, as we see so commonly. The bases are so far spread out, stopping those would be very difficult.
That is one way to play it, and certainly some of the mech players that we've seen try and work it out. But even they needed 3 bases and 6 gases, or at least 5. The problem is that it's the third base is far away, so you would need something to protect yourself while getting that. And there is a lot of dead space, so there's no longer back rocks, which you don't have to worry about, which made it a bit better of a map, but you do have to worry about ling drops or Nidus worms. It's actually neither of those, though. It's just a straight-up Baneling bust.
Which spawn is it that's disabled on this map? Is it vertical?
Vertical.
Okay, because I know TLO checked the bottom right, which I thought was a bit odd. Anyways, yeah, so a Baneling bust on the way, and funny enough, there are the same way that against Rax pressure, right? You've got more drones to defend against, you've got more SCVs to lose. So sometimes where I think the same numbers in HOTS would have a monumentally game ending, this might not be so bad. And Lillekanin is going for a 2-port opener here. So, oh, wait, no, he's not. Oh no, this is bad. I thought he was going straight to a Banshee, and if that's the case, he could have picked off quite a few Banelings. His Hellion production is going to fall off too because of his building production. He doesn't have a lot of minerals to spend on this, and he is looking for Banshees. And TLO is not looking to give him the time of day to get Banshees. Oh no, and those 2 Hellions are wickedly out of position, going to be on the wrong side of the map for this. Lillekanin has nothing at home. This wall is going to fall, and everything's just going to break behind it.
The Viking feels very useless right now.
Yeah, even if he lands it, it's not going to do too well. It's going to pull back to the main, probably land in the mineral lines in surround type deal, but he's going to... Doesn't need cloak. He needs a Banshee though. That's for certain.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to get the Banshee, but then how many SCVs will he have lost? The Hellions come back and they're doing a decent job. I mean, they can live forever. We can try.
Well, I mean, there's speed on the lings, so no, but you can trade out well. Tries to focus down the Banelings. That's why he's landing the Viking before. That's kind of cool. Banelings are hitting in the main. Uh-oh. Bad news bears. Not paying attention. SCVs get popped. And Lillekanin does lose pretty much everything. GG, well played. An anticlimactic ending to the series of what was a very fun Game 1 and Game 2, but well executed by TLO. Very well done.
GG.
And Lillekanin, we wish him the best of luck as he does hit the losers bracket. But for us, there's another match coming up that I'm really interested in, and that is possibly Harstom's next match. Now, he doesn't currently have an opponent from what I can tell. I'm going to poke him, though, to make sure we can try and get him on reserve. Because Minimath is a great Zerg player, and Sol's a pretty good Terran player. So either way, ZvT or ZvP or TVP versus Harstom, I think, would be a lot of fun. Alternatively, Penguin waits to fight was possibly Snoot, Realmer versus Mana later on down the lines. TLO will most likely fight sort of next, and Wellmu versus Firecake. I'm just looking at the brackets, making predictions. You guys, of course, should take a look at the brackets yourselves by typing !" brackets in chat. Lilbao versus Zanster would also be a good one, actually. So I think, yeah, we're going to try and do either... like, honestly, these look too good to pass up. Either Lilbao versus what is potentially Zanster, or Hearthstone versus Minimath or Sol. Do you agree, disagree? Thoughts?
I agree.
Okay. This does mean we're going to have to wait around for a little bit to find out which is available first. And, of course, for us, we want to just keep the ball rolling as little downtime as we can and all that goodness. But, yeah, there's a lot of games to go through today, guys. Expect a pretty long bracket, which means a lot of games for you to go take a break right now would probably be a good idea. Get your lunch out of the way, because there's going to be a lot of StarCraft coming up later. But this is what I love about Europe, by the way. Just going back to the brackets one more time. You look at this, and there aren't really, honestly, it's not hard to find a good match worth casting. Like, they're all going to be pretty good. Whereas unfortunately, even with Korea and mostly North America, like you kind of have to cherry pick which ones are good, which are bad. But yeah, I poked Hearthstone, talking to him now, just trying to make sure we got at least his attention here for when he gets an opponent. Because Minimath and Soul both being in game, I mean, we can't really see what's going on over there.
Yeah, I can't really poke them.
But, okay. Let's see. No. Then I got to get a hold of, who's the other one? Little Bow. Where's Little Bow in here?
Recently closed.
I see him as well. Okay, so I got eyes on both players now. We'll see which is ready to go first. I love Zanster. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like I really love Zanster. So I would be very happy with either of these matches. Lillekanin forfeits the losers bracket. That's unfortunate.
Oh, he's not bothering with that.
I don't blame. This is a huge bracket, and we've been seeing this more commonly.
It sucks too because it's not just the winners will always advance much quicker, and usually like they have to drop down and wait 3 matches. Even dropping down immediately, you have to wait a long time sometimes. So it's just not worth the entire day.
I think they were talking a little bit about it last night with Fear Dragon on that Skype memes show, and one of the topics was like there's situations where, like, yeah, if there's a lot of money on the line, it's worth sticking around for double elimination brackets, but this is a qualifier, so they might not, like, it might literally just not be worth the Lillekanin's time. Spend your Sunday doing anything else.
Yep. We'll be able to ladder. You always have to be on call, ready to go. TLO really did not want to lose to that second game. He says, I just thought during that second game, holy shit, I don't want to lose to this. That 5 racks. I guess that would be, I don't know, embarrassing.
I mean, he did it though, right? Like he actually nailed that defense, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about. All right, so I told Hearthstone we're going to do him versus his opponent or Lobo versus Zanster. He says, well, you'll probably do Lobo versus Zanster because Soul and Minimath are passive as fuck, so we'll probably be waiting around for a while. It's like, yeah, I kind of figured that would be the case. So, yeah, if we can catch Zanster versus Little Bow, or if we can catch Hearthstone with an opponent, we absolutely will. I think we are going to just go to a small break, though, while we wait. So just taking advantage of the downtime. You guys are not missing anything. When we return, we can talk a little bit more about what's going on today. But for now, we'll just hop to a quick 2-minute commercial break. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry for this small hiccup in the brackets, and we'll see you guys soon.